All right, so this is 86.
Yes,
so it's you.
You are correct.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of the Son of Frankenstein.
This one is probably just as bad as his father. Good morning, son.
Well, hello.
My son, you have inherited the fortune of the Frankensteins. I trust you will not inherit their fate.
By heaven, I think you're a worse fiend than your father. What are you going to do about it? There's a monster afoot and you know it.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned.
Oh, geez, wait, what?
Oh, are you not ready? I can start all over again?
No, you're good.
Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast. Oh, we're off to a flying start.
What, are you in a hurry?
No,
I got dinner
all day.
reservations?
Well, I do, but other than that, I've got all day.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh, it's the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I'm Thom Lang.
Lang, eh? Never heard of him before. Oh, well.
And I'm Bill Evenson. I just see a big...
Yeah.
Do that sometimes?
Sometimes. When I edit, I even it out.
Listen, we've been doing this for long enough that people should understand how this works. I shouldn't be allowed to see the screen. If I can see the little thing showing, the waveforms,
you get freaked out.
I gotta scoot over a bit. There we go.
Everything's
now we're
okay
good.
now.
And I'm Bill Evenson, and you join us for minute 86.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, Son of Frankenstein. What day is it?
It's the 3rd of February.
It's February 3rd. I mean, I don't know what to make out of that.
Next Tuesday, I go in for surgery. If that means
my
anything.
goodness. Oh, I was going to say the Groundhog's Day is finally over.
It is, thank God. The build up to that was it was Groundhog mania.
Well, no, I thought you were going to say it was a big political firestorm.
Oh, well, and probably
the one side thinks that the groundhog is the demon.
yeah, they probably do.
Like if the demon sees his shadow, 6 more weeks of Democrats abusing children or whatever it is they say we do.
Eating babies and
eating babies.
I had one for breakfast. It was delicious.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. When people criticize the eating of babies, I don't think.
Have you ever really tried?
Yeah, have you ever tried it? It's like veal.
Don't knock it.
You don't knock it
until you've tried it.
Don't knock it until you've tried it.
Same with I gotta cut that out.
Hey, how about fucking your source?
Yeah, let's get them all in.
Don't knock it until you've tried it.
Let's get them all in. Did we mention Hitler and the Nazis yet?
Is this our podcast? Are we recording? You look like you're ready to...
I'm going home.
I understand. So this is minute 86 of Son of Frankenstein.
We should have been over 10 minutes ago. This should have been done 10 minutes ago.
The movies are too long?
Yeah.
Movies too long. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've said that probably every episode for the past 2 years.
We haven't recorded for a few weeks now, so this is the beginning of our block, and so I wasn't prepared for Tom's traditional movies too fucking long bullshit.
Bullshit. Okay.
Movie.
Hey, Tom Weaver agrees.
I don't know that. He just said he doesn't want to watch it.
Well, but in their both volumes of Universal Monsters,
he says it there.
They said it's too long.
Okay. All right, it's too long.
Anyway.
That's it. Let's go home. Let's not do this week.
Next week will be minute 1 of Ghost of Frankenstein.
There you go. Well, you don't want to skip the ending of this one.
No, we probably should keep going.
We'll just do a series of episodes where we never actually get around to talking about the minute.
All
right, that sound of the bell can only mean the sound of the whatever.
I don't know. But a custom, says Krog.
Yes.
Because he had said previously leaving his hat on was a rather crude custom, but a custom.
Yes.
Nevertheless, I think is what is implied.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
But I think it's because he is, what's the word? He's not verbose. What's the opposite of verbose? Concise?
Non-verbose. Yeah, he's concise. And I think, he's here in an official capacity this time, so he's not being particularly friendly.
Right, and that's what he's getting at.
And he's had a pretty rough afternoon.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk.
We'll find out why, and we'll find out why
on this week's Frankenstein Minute.
Confused? You won't be after this episode of Soap.
Perfect. Look, you just made a fan. Robert is finally a fan. of yours.
I love that show.
No,
it was fantastic.
I think I probably talked about it, but we watched the whole thing a couple of years ago.
Did you? Yeah,
it all holds up. Every second second of it.
I should too, because I love that show. Yeah, I bought the DVD set. Menards of all places.
Is that right?
Yeah, like walking by, there's a little,
Yeah, $2 olive soap.
It was
under
$20. Yeah, it was like that, and I got that, and what else did I get? I got a bunch.
Okay.
And they were all under $20, so like for $100, I got 5.
WKRP is the other one that I think really holds.
Oh, that's absolutely.
WKRP soap.
I think Barney Miller.
I keep trying to convince. Oh, really?
Barney Miller holds up really well.
Interesting.
It's extremely well written.
Okay, I'll try to revisit that one because one of the ones on my list was Taxi.
Oh.
But I can't get the wife to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she not
Which
like
is weird
Judd
because we watch
Hirsch,
soap and we want. Yeah, it's well,
Judd.
she doesn't. Her thing about Judd Hirsch is she thinks he's too. I'm just kidding. We're just gonna have to erase this whole podcast. We're gonna.
You've
maybe
been warned.
Erase me.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute.
Remember, make note to go over Tom's edit of 86. I might need to re-edit
it.
Tom leaves all my bullshit in and makes himself
sound like really smart.
You add in stuff like, oh my God, I can't
Bill.
believe you said
Whoa,
that.
Dude. Yeah, I'm just going to do some wild track of that so I can put it in wherever.
Just lay it underneath everything.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
How many minutes? Are we done?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Is Wallace's workout done?
He's all done. So he's there in official capacity. Wolf, he's trying to be ingratiating to Krogh or being a complete dickhead by clicking his heels and saying, well, sir, what news from the front?
I find it the same.
Okay.
And he also, I didn't even notice it until this time. I don't know why I don't notice things, but when we just watched it, well, I noticed all the things you just said, but the additional thing I just noticed was he also does an almost John Cleese-like thing with his elbows. His elbows come out slightly as he does it, like I'm a duck or something. And like I said, I wrote very rude. I think it's very rude.
Yeah,
he knows this is a touchy subject for
absolutely.
Krogh.
And he's
Krogh dreams of joining the Wehrmacht.
Yeah, he does.
Is that what they're called? Wehrmacht?
Yeah.
But I think Wolf is clearly annoyed. The thing that's incumbent upon us when we do these in blocks, in my opinion, is to try to remember what happened in the previous minute. And so in my research, I never bothered to go back and watch the previous minute. But I do remember he stands up. Do you remember this? I think this was last week. Yeah, he just got here. So Krogh walks in and he pretends like he's playing darts
up and
all this.
Pretends like he's throwing darts. Yeah.
For some reason, he thinks he's been caught in the middle of something or whatever.
He was caught jacking off.
And so, he acts
kind of
like a guy.
He's kind of like a kid who got caught.
Off. Yeah.
I was just playing darts.
Yeah, I was just playing darts. I was just killing Benson. What? That's the. So now I feel like he very quickly has gotten to annoyed, or I guess annoyed is the right word.
Because he feels like he's a criminal in his own home.
All that
which
stuff.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
And I think he's annoyed because he's getting caught.
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't have any righteous indignation at this point. He's guilty as fuck.
Well, this section is a turning point. I don't want to say this minute's a turning point because I probably said that last week and the week before. But this
every
next
second
week,
of this film is
every second is a turning point. It's just everything's constantly changing.
Yep.
No, but in this case, it's clear that he is. I think the whole point of him jumping up and pretending to play darts last week, and him getting annoyed and coming out very forcefully, like you said, I think it is against. I think he is mocking him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do too.
All part of a transition to listen. I got real problems here, and I don't need the law coming around trying to help.
I got a Frankenstein running around killing all my servants.
There's watches everywhere. No, he doesn't know about the watches.
Igor's all over the place.
I got that bitch Elsa
she won't
getting all
get
up in my business.
Up in my
Elsa, please!
Up in my grills. Yeah, that went off the charts. That's for sure.
Sorry. When I do Rathbone, it's there's no doubt about it.
And I want to make it plain again that I really, really like Basil Rathbone.
Okay.
In general, I just don't like Wolf Frankenstein at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think part of the problem for Rathbone is the way the film was made. He's a stage-trained actor, as was Josephine Hutchinson, as was Boris Karloff, and Bela Lugosi. Mm-hmm. They're all used to rehearsing and refining their character over time. And here's a script, read it and go, is not the best way for people like that to operate. And I think he's kind of up against it.
Okay.
Now one of them wants to go out.
You've heard something that indicated that?
They ring the bell when they want to go out.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So do you start to drool?
I can't help it.
I'm sorry. The dog rings the bell and you drool. That's how it works, right?
I can't help it. It's just a problem.
We can take a break.
No. We'll finish this minute.
So here's my problem with that, is that, in my opinion, it does ramp up. He wasn't like this 30 weeks ago when we were talking about him. So in my opinion, so for you to say, because it sounds like what you're saying is...
Oh, he was, though.
Well, no, he's always been a dick. He's not a likable character.
But he's been on the verge of hysterics since they got to the castle.
Okay.
Or since he met Krog, anyway.
Okay.
He just wasn't given Rathbone, not Wolf. He wasn't given ample preparation to find the center of this guy. So everything is at a very
I would like to propose
performance.
We should vote. We should put a vote up on Patreon.
Sure.
Should we do a commentary of this movie? Because I feel like now we're trying to
retrofit this.
Well, I said we, but I guess what I really mean is you.
I am.
So I shouldn't use such wishy-washy language. The point is, I think there's a disagreement here.
Yeah.
I do sense this ramping up, and I do think that
it's pitched a little higher, yes, but I think he's always been
a dick.
Well, a dick and highly strung, and so I don't know if you can hear that if it's showing up in the recording, but the hounds of the Basset Hound of the Baskervilles is having a little episode upstairs.
Yeah,
they just don't like that there's a barrier between us and they can't be down here. So
yep, absolutely
killing them. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a whole lot of difference between this and like 5 minutes ago and 20 minutes ago, and it's just it's a one-note performance, and I don't fault Rathbone necessarily. I fault Lee for the way this film was made.
And that's why I think maybe we should do a commentary where we sit down and watch it in order, because I don't think that's the guy that showed up at the castle and was so excited about finding his father's book.
Okay, yeah, those first few scenes,
And I'm not done, and it's not the same guy who went exploring and bumped into Igor. It's not the same guy who was shown the monster and was given this purpose in life to go and be dedicated to bringing the monster back to life. Bringing Frankenstein back to life.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about now. You're watching the same movie as I am?
I don't know. What, are we at an hour yet?
Oh, yeah.
Dog needs to go out.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, let's agree to disagree. I think there's been a sort of hysteria to it. Okay, you pick moments where he's calm, but there are other moments where he's not.
Okay.
Or where he's lying and where he's pretty high-strung, bringing the kid up to his bedroom. I mean, he's over the top there. I think even in the scene where he meets Krog in the library, there's a few moments where it's a little too much, and it's just Rathbone isn't used to working this way.
Okay.
And I think he just, like I said, didn't have ample opportunity to find this character.
Like he's working under circumstances that are happening to produce a performance that I enjoy.
Okay.
That's, I think, maybe the best I can do. It's like Kubrick and The Shining and
Shelley Duvall.
What's her name? Shelley Duvall. Yeah. You can't fault the guy for getting a good performance out of. Oh wait, maybe you can. Wait,
I think you kind of can, but.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm on her side on that one.
Yeah, and I'm like...
But it actually really is kind of the point.
I am a huge Kubrick fan, and yeah, his behavior was
that's
absolutely
horrible.
inexcusable.
I think the worst. But it is a method that a director can use to elicit a performance.
It is. I don't prescribe to it. I guess maybe that's...
Yeah.
Another death, another inquest.
I notice he says another death, and Wolf immediately looks at him like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Really?
Yep.
God damn it.
God damn it, Igor.
Another one.
Frankenstein.
Another Frankenstein.
Yeah,
another inquest. It's an inquest as opposed to a death that was in a side quest. This is an inquest.
It was an
That's a joke to see if
outside quest and an inside quest.
Well,
is that what
it's a
you're
joke
saying?
to see if my kids... It's a video game reference to see if
right.
my kids are listening.
Okay.
There's inquest and there's side quest.
Okay.
I may have made up the inquest one.
Okay. It sort of deflates Wolf's cocky attitude and now puts him on the defensive again.
Yes, absolutely. That's very good. Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why we love Krog.
Yes.
When you're watching this movie, you're definitely left with an affection for Krog.
Yes.
You know, this is just like kids.
Yeah.
You hear the dog, and it's eliciting more of a reaction to you than me. So don't worry about me, at least.
Okay.
I think it's funny.
Not worry about
care.
Dino complaining about it.
Dino, fuck. Again with the dog.
Yeah.
What are you doing to that dog?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's what happens in this minute. While we're, like, that line, another death, now things have changed.
Yep.
Now, there's no way for Wolf to try and get the upper hand.
Nope.
Like he thinks he always has.
He completely lost it. Yeah. When did it occur? This afternoon? He doesn't ask who it was or anything like that. I mean, that would be my first thing. It's like, oh, who was it?
Okay.
What happened?
Interesting.
But, yeah, when did it happen? Do I have an alibi for it? Does Igor have an alibi?
like that.
Does the monster have an alibi? Or does Frankenstein have an alibi?
No, I love that. I think you're right. That's exactly what he does. Yeah.
It's
It's
a selfish thing to ask.
Yeah, that's what a guilty person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I was here the whole time.
When? This afternoon? Because
he was here the whole time.
I was baking bread. Oh, that sounds great. Can I have some?
Benson and I were baking bread.
I like that my Rathbone and my Atwell are the same.
Identical.
They're both American because I can't do the British accent.
Okay. And, I think he's hoping that it was that afternoon because it would let him off the hook.
Because he has an alibi?
He has an alibi.
Elsa isn't going to come out and go, but Wolf.
Well, you were gone.
You were gone all afternoon. You said you were going for a walk.
Yeah.
And then I watched you walk into the thing. Whatever that thing is in the backyard.
That bubble back there.
That bubble back there, the dome.
They blew the roof off.
They blew the roof off that place.
Yep. It was sometime last night. It was discovered late this morning.
All right, now we have it.
That answers that timeline, too, because we were curious about when Frau Lang, or whoever that was, came out and did her Una O'Connor impression.
Exactly. I wrote here, in minute 79, Frau Lang
Here we go.
exits the apotheker screaming. And the next thing, well, here's the thing about that, too, that's interesting. The very next thing that happens is probably a lap dissolve. I don't know.
More than likely it was this movie.
Peter singing, sailing, sailing. Over the bounding main.
Over the, what did the doc say? It was over the B&O. Because it's on the train track. It's the B&O Railroad.
Oh, B&O. That's cute.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
That's really good. I missed that.
Yeah.
Just know that when you post stuff on the internet to us, one of us will probably see it. And then if that person sees it, the other person doesn't get to see it. Because there's no way to see it. Once you see something, you're done. But that's the scene where he hands over the watch. He hands over the watch, I believe, in that minute, 79. So that was the big thing, was it's 5 o'clock, and we couldn't figure out what time it was. Yeah. So assuming, this is a big assumption, because anything, with a lap dissolve, anything.
It could be months,
it could
years.
Be months.
Decades later.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It could, yeah.
So, but at least now, there's a reason to think that 5 o'clock...
On the watch,
in that minute, in that scene...
Is the time?
Is either 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because I had said it could be 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's not 5 o'clock.
We didn't think that. But it also either is stopped or whatever, or it's taken... Because late morning and 5 o'clock is kind of a long time. Yeah. But then things move slowly in the village of
Frankenstein. No, we're not in Visaria yet. A Hertling this time. Village apothecary. Very old and dear friend.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to picture Atwill and Belmore chumming around, but who knows? I mean, the two Lionels maybe went to orgies together. I don't know. I don't know.
That's true. That's what you never know about people, is it?
I don't know a lot about Lionel Belmore. I know enough
more than you wanted to know.
You know more than I want to know about Lionel Atwill.
Danny. I thought you said Danny.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
I don't know. Always got to go Danny. Somebody's always got to go Danny Thomas. And
Marlowe's going to sue us eventually.
The next step is Hitler. I think you go.
Oh yeah. It escalates.
Atwill, Danny Thomas, Hitler. It's just every time.
Escalates like that. Yes. He will be mourned.
Yeah. Well.
And of course.
Wolf in a moment of rare
humanity.
There you go.
Too bad.
Yeah,
tough shit.
Listen, it can be uncomfortable when someone you don't know.
No, it is. Yes,
reveals some personal detail, especially a tragedy like this one. The correct and proper etiquette is to comfort the person. Yes, with phrases like "too bad" and "oh well," and immediately become defensive.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of him.
I don't give a shit. Get the fuck out of my house.
It's to Lee's credit that he cut off. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my house.
Well, I think Joseph Breen had something to do with that.
Oh, that could be. Yeah. That's true. That's true. This is a code film.
Yeah, it's strictly enforced by this time. Bride of Frankenstein skirted around a few things, mainly because Whale is an extremely clever man.
True.
And knew how to work that system, so he got stuff in there that normally would have been a red flag. But by this time, by 39, it was pretty hardcore enforced. So you wouldn't get away with a fuck you.
Yeah.
There are some fucks in early, quote, pre-code.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I've talked about, there's a Bosco cartoon where he says the dirty
the
fuck.
fox,
He says,
or whatever
he
it
says
is.
that dirty fuck, and
Dirty fuck!
I've slowed it down, and I don't know, maybe it's just what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Wolf's reaction is great. Deflect anything away from you by saying, "Oh, never heard of him. I don't care.
Well,
I got darts to play."
Yeah, absolutely. Because what I was noticing is all of what you're talking about is an off-screen
Yes, I was going to say there's an insert shot of the dartboard.
That's when he says that.
That's when he says that line. So, but it's not. It doesn't sound overdubbed because there's this slight echo to it, like it was recorded on the set.
Okay.
So it's odd that it's that insert and not on him.
Well, you know how this works. You could run the scene 30 times, and then when you go into editing, you pick the one audio and put it over the other.
Oh yeah.
But the idea, or at least the end effect, is the same, which is as if it was an overdub, which is it almost seems like it does seek to explain a change in tone, because the change in tone is too abrupt.
Right.
Again.
Yes.
In this case,
Yep.
I believe you. I agree with you on that. The tone change is too abrupt. He goes from too bad to which I mocked him for saying, but he does say it. He means it.
He means. Yeah.
We think he means it.
But yeah.
But from there to
Here, Lang, never heard of him.
Yeah.
Before. Oh well.
Yeah. It's
Oh
a
well.
little abrupt, and that all takes
and
place
Krog
over.
just said he's a good friend of his.
Yeah.
Oh well, fuck
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I don't, way to go, asshole.
Yes, I think you're right. I think there's no question about it. Again, Wolf's in over his head,
Oh, you're very clear.
and for me, it all works. Everything you can say about it.
Oh yeah, no,
I still think it works in the context
works
of the
within
character.
the context. Yeah, but he's certainly not doing himself any favors.
Oh, well, that's true.
That's my
very
point.
true. Yeah.
He's still a callous asshole.
Oh,
so
that's very. That's a good point.
Yeah.
This is incredibly callous.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Someone I had just met a few days before, or a few weeks, or what he says. Says later on he's been here a few months or something like that.
Okay.
Told me that I
He had to reconstruct that table. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Is the
would
normal
think.
thing to say.
Yeah, he gets as far as too bad.
Yeah, but then.
Oh well.
But then he, protecting his own ass by being a dick.
The other thing is, when you hire Basil Rathbone, especially in 1939, I don't think you send him out there with lines that say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. That's an awful thing. I'm really sorry that happened to you." He doesn't have that gear. Like, when does he have that gear?
Maybe not as a performer, but I know as a person he did. He was a deeply sensitive man.
Okay.
Easily hurt, but yet from all accounts, very jolly, happy guy, full of enthusiasm for whatever project he was working on.
Yeah, I give you that.
But he never talked about this film, ever, after it was made. Never mentioned it. It's not even mentioned in his autobiography, I believe.
Wow.
So I don't think he thought too highly of it. I don't think he enjoyed the experience.
Okay.
Because he talks about shit like hillbillies in a haunted house. No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does, because that's his last movie.
One of my first thoughts is he worked with Lugosi and Karloff, and people like us think if I worked with Lugosi and Karloff, I would be able to give you a second-by-second breakdown of every moment
exactly.
on that set. But he went on to work with Lugosi and Karloff, just never again together.
Not together. And under very different circumstances for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was going to say, looking back on your life, because that's when people tend to interview you about these kind of things, or you write your autobiography. It doesn't seem so spectacular. It's like I don't know.
No, but I mean, it's one, other than Sherlock Holmes, is one of the major things he's remembered for nowadays.
Yeah.
But he didn't apparently enjoy it. He did, like on the Big Sleep, or no, not Big Sleep, Black Sleep.
Black Sleep.
Apparently he tried to help Bela and talked to the director, tried to get him some lines, and the director's like, no, he just is so out of it, he can't deliver lines, so no. But apparently rumor is that he was at least trying to help Bela. Flash forward about 10 years, and they're doing the Comedy of Terrors with Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Karloff, and Rathbone, and apparently just had a grand time with all of them. There's a picture, it's one of my favorite pictures, I should have it hanging up here, where they're in coffins, and Karloff and Rathbone look like they have cracked each other up.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous photo.
Well, that's what made me think of it, basically. When having had an actual relationship with Karloff, and having had a similar trajectory, I suppose, in some ways. I don't mean a similar trajectory, I guess just having their career trajectory peak at about the same time.
Yeah.
About. Maybe not. I guess
No, I think
Karloff's a
Karloff
little
peaked
bit
a little
earlier.
earlier. Yeah. Not peaked. I mean, he was always working, and he was always. I don't know that he was always a box office draw by the 50s. Maybe not, but.
Well, and that's why they're making movies like Hillbilly.
The Black Sleep and Hillbillies
the
and
Black Sleep, for that matter. Good point. Yeah.
You know, these are low budget. The Corman pictures, you know, they were a little certainly for Roger Corman, a little elevated from what he was normally doing and from what American International was doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So something like The Raven, which I love enough to have bought an original poster of from its initial release.
I see it every time I walk
Yes,
through.
you do. Yeah.
And I always think, well, I got to see that movie.
You've still not seen it?
Mm-mm.
No, you owe it to yourself.
Really? It's a good movie?
It's very fun.
All right.
Peter
once
Lorre's...
we finish this movie.
All right.
I don't know.
Anyway, I suppose the villagers will say I killed him just the same.
Yeah, well, I mean that shows where he's at.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's a bad line. It's just again trying to deflect the guilt from himself when none of this would happen if he weren't there. Because he walks no more, says Igor about Frankenstein.
Right.
If Wolf hadn't made him walk more,
well, that's true.
This wouldn't be happening unless Igor found a different way to go about it. But Igor needs the Frankenstein to have as an alibi.
Yeah, well, but interestingly, in this statement, it's as if Wolf Wolf is almost doing that too, because he's trying to say, I didn't even know this guy, but I guess everybody's going to assume I killed him, and the idea is then he's opening up the conversation to say, for Krog to say what he goes on to say, which is no, well, you know who did, and then he can say, well, this is preposterous. It's not only an alibi. It's how could I possibly have been involved in any way in any of this? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just babbling at this point.
But then he has a kind of a weird close-up where he makes a weird face.
He's doing a bit of this trembling and twitching.
Mugging and, yeah. But of course I know who did it. Haven't you heard? Frankenstein!
Yeah, I should have known. Yeah, so I like this. I like the haven't you heard? Because now it undercuts what I was just trying to say, which is that, no, the villagers don't think he did it. They think Frankenstein did it.
Yeah.
Which I guess he's mocking that. Like this is crazy. Come on, how stupid is this?
He's trying to, he's again trying to deflect any kind of blame from himself.
Which is funny because we're on the third film and we know what happened in the first two films. So it's really not that crazy to think that Frankenstein would come back. It's not like you and I. It's not like I kill you and then I go, I didn't do it. Frankenstein did it. Well, there is no Frankenstein. that's not real. But in this movie, it is real.
You're gonna have to come up with a better defense.
I might have to work
on that before you carry it out.
So in this case, not only is Frankenstein real, but Frankenstein ripped the other guy's arm out by the roots.
Yeah. Then he laughs maniacally, which is cut off about midpoint in a weird edit.
Is it midpoint? It's cut off.
It's cut off. He doesn't finish.
Yes.
And then yeah.
It's a
clumsy.
From the very first time I saw this film, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's a clumsy edit.
It's a clumsy edit where guys. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess had they a longer post-production period, they could have overlapped
it a little
bit, so his laugh is underneath Krog's yes.
Yeah.
So it's not just a hard break like that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yes,
it's a bad edit.
It is. That's what they think.
You're doing like Atwell. Isn't that a Rathbone?
No, Atwell says yes. That's what they think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I was thinking of it backwards. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
It is Atwell. Yes, that's right. Yeah. He does say that. Yes, that's what they think. Yeah.
And Wolf is it the old Frankenstein of my father's time?
Well, he says legendary, the old legendary, which is interesting to me because legends are
like tall tales or
often, maybe more often than not. I don't know. Like if someone talks about an NFL legend, I assume that was a real guy. There probably wasn't a demon running back of the Steelers in the 40s.
You don't know that.
You never know.
You don't know that for sure.
The unicorns playing for the Colts.
Then maybe I'd watch that shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Then I might be interested in that crap.
Still my favorite show. And the Vikings aren't playing today, thank goodness. They're playing tomorrow.
So thank goodness for that.
They're gonna get embarrassed tomorrow because we're in the playoffs now. So
I have no fucking idea.
Here's what the playoffs are.
You really don't care.
Playoffs are when you lose, you're out. Every game.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to win every game from here on out.
Okay.
And
it's not like baseball where you have
you get best of 7
5 chances
in the playoffs
to get to
No, football is so destructive to human bodies. that they have to reduce the season.
Well, didn't the guy like drop dead on the field or
that hasn't happened for a week? What are
Yeah,
you talking
okay,
about?
all right.
Well, now, today's February 3rd? That's
Yeah.
ancient history. He's probably playing today.
Okay.
February 3rd.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Super Bowl. I don't know.
I don't know when. Oh, it's a Friday.
Maybe it's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
It's a couple days from now. Yeah.
And then the surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you having done?
I am having a full my left shoulder fully replaced, the ball and
that
socket
right?
joint. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I guess I never knew what it meant exactly. You're replacing the ball and the socket.
The whole thing from like midway up the bicep to about midway up my shoulder.
Oh my God.
Yep, it's pretty. And the recovery time, I asked, well, how much time should I, put in for work to be off? I thought 4 weeks, 12 weeks, 3
Really?
months. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's pretty invasive.
I guess. Jesus.
I mean, the bypass was about that long too. So
Wow.
yeah.
Man.
So step one.
It's becoming a Cyberman is not.
It's not easy. I was going to say.
You might think.
Lee Majors made it look easy, but there's a lot more involved than they show.
That's kind of a problem with that show.
Yeah,
he did make it look easy.
Like, yeah, he's up
It's
in
that recovery time they don't tell you about.
Now, did he have both legs replaced on that? I don't remember because we were talking about it at work because of this. And
well, the thing is, you're asking the question, and I'm in no way an expert, and I can't remember. I don't
remember either.
But you're right. There's something like that, like one leg is him.
But then wouldn't the other leg just get shredded, his real leg, when he's running super fast or whatever? How could your actual biological leg keep up with the cyber leg?
2 steps in, my knee would go.
You'd be just
bang.
completely shattered.
All right, well.
These are things that, Got any more questions?
Guys like a Frankenstein. You just sew them together and set them loose.
So that's what's happening.
Also, if he is a legend,
he's a legend in his own time.
He's a legend who actually amputated the guy he's talking to as a child.
So Krog and I have something to talk about.
That's true. You're going to be like a Krog. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. We're going to play darts after this for 12 weeks.
Or would you like to play darts?
Oh, spoilers.
Okay.
All right.
So
well,
do we have
a
question?
Let's see if I can figure out how to get it. I'm always doing this where I can't figure out how to get this thing. Yes.
We do? All right.
Got any more questions, wise ass?
So I'll play the music while
February
you
3rd.
fumble trying to find that.
Here we go.
Any more questions, wise ass?
Yeah, very nice. I don't think I mentioned this before, but if I did, I apologize. This is a response to our bonus episode, The Foyer of Frankenstein, but I called it the Foyer of Design because it was so fucked up.
It was the, for those of you who aren't Patreons, first of all, fuck you. I don't care about you at all.
What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Why are you even here?
Yeah.
But what we did is took one of the Max Headroom episodes that you heard part of one. I forget what episode it was. What you said.
377.
Okay, where we had the technical difficulty, and I just plopped it unedited, and so the full.
I like that you're taking the blame here because it was actually my idea.
Well, it was your idea to put it out there.
Yeah. So you shouldn't just take the blame for this. It was totally my idea.
To share that nightmare soundscape with everybody.
And we asked on that show, if you want more, should we release all of them? Because there was 4 that were like that. We got one comment from John Hazard.
Okay.
He says, no.
Fair enough.
We had an additional comment from below that from Jeff Elston, friend of the show, Jeff Elston, who said, I'm going to upvote John on this one. So we've had 2 votes.
Two no.
2 no's.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Well,
I'll just burn the negatives.
And we were contacted by Dino ST.
Yeah, it's true.
From the Classic Horror Film Board, who said, hey, that episode's still fucked up. Like, you didn't hear the intro. He said I wasn't paying attention during the intro. I think the best part about being contacted by Dino ST is I think he's probably awake when that alert comes in. Now he's in New York, so I think 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning, yeah.
So whatever state he's in.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Okay, well,
there we go.
Then that saves us a lot of work putting those out then.
I mean, it's less work,
minimal,
right? You just
minimal work.
paste it in. I guess you still got to put the theme on.
Put the theme on the beginning and end. And
still got to bleep out every time I said...
that you want to fuck your sister. Because it's a recurring theme. I'm beginning to be concerned.
Start a different podcast. Steiner. Me and Steve Steiner will talk about NFL legends.
Okay, there you go.
That's how we're going out?
Sure.
All right,
you got anything else?
No, I got nothing.
All right.
a